Welcome to Whitespace, DCD's weekly roundup of news from the data centre industry. And last week, everyone was on their travels except me. So, where did you go to, Tanny?
I was in Las Vegas for Dell EMC's big conference. So it was the first big conference since the merger in September last year. So it was full of announcements. I think the 9 product launches on the first day, talking about digital transformation, IT transformation, all the things we love. They announced their 14th generation PowerEdge servers and a whole lot of software-defined stuff. So that was pretty cool. And one of their partners, viLogics, which is a virtual hosting company, announced that they're going to be making up portable technology kits for the American Red Cross, which I thought was quite sweet. So they're going to, because obviously the American Red Cross are deployed in emergency situations and never really know where they're going to be needed. So they're going to put together these technology kits with laptops, servers, everything that they need to monitor their blood transfusions and all of the things that they need in disaster situations that need to be deployed quickly and in quite a large scale, but then need to be retracted again when.
So edge data centres, very definitely portable edge data centres,
yes.
And they're probably moderately standardised, but they'll have to have various different options in terms of how they connect back to base. Some of them probably have to go all over 4G or whatever.
Yeah, and maybe the NHS can borrow some of them in critical situations.
Maybe.
Yes, that's right.
That may be useful in light of circumstances.
Yes.
Wasn't David Blaine also there?
Yeah, David Blaine was there. He did a few magic tricks. He stuck a spear through his hand and actually bled, which I think was part of the magic act.
The blood of
Yeah.
David Blaine.
That was great. Monday morning,
And then
9 o'clock.
American Red
Oh,
Cross.
right.
Yep, that was edgy. Max, where have you been?
Yes, I've been to the OpenStack Summit in Boston. So these happen every 6 months. They happen in different parts of the world. The official explanation is so different parts of the community can actually meet up. But for journalists, it's just great. There's not a single traveling show like OpenStack. Well, in terms of news, OpenStack has all grown up. It's getting sort of more enterprise, more corporate. You could say, more serious. Great things in the OpenStack user survey. But one of the most interesting topics over there was the rise of remotely managed private cloud. Mm-hmm. Now this category didn't make sense to me for the longest time, but then because you know how public cloud was supposed to be easy and simple to deploy and it's just you pay for only what they use, and then a bunch of companies started offering managed public cloud services, and I, for some reason I for the longest time was what are they smoking? It's sort of public cloud is supposed to be easy. Why would I buy my managed public cloud from Rackspace or something?
Yeah.
But yeah, it was very, very successful. And the next step in this sort of really strange evolution is managed public cloud, when basically it's your private cloud. It might even be on your premises, but it's managed by somebody else. Okay. So, and people are already doing that. There's only a couple at the moment. It's Rackspace, IBM, Mirantis, and maybe 3 or 4 others. So it's a small category, but it's growing. And I think one of the big takeaways from the OpenStack Summit was there's going to be more businesses like this, and if you start offering services like this now, if you have OpenStack skills in house, it can be very, very lucrative. And GE is one of the biggest users of such clouds at the moment. They built a huge thing and it's managed by Rackspace, and they're so happy. So they seem to be so happy.
Managed private cloud, it might be that you've got all the stuff on a floor or a building, and but you don't manage it. If you want anything done, you have to ask someone else to do it for you.
Well, pretty much. You call up Rackspace and Rackspace does it, and it can be in their data center as well. So this is going forward. It's not taking away from any of the existing categories. It's more of an addition. So it's not going to cannibalize any established businesses. Well, at least that's what Executive Director Jonathan Bryce says. Things that are coming up. These things.
There are a lot of different people show up at OpenStack, and one of the people that's always worth listening to is Mark Shuttleworth.
Yes, Because he's very sort of like outspoken, you know. He's like he's great with media in terms of like he's not afraid to say some things that other execs might be like, ooh, should we really say that? So yeah, this was my third meeting with Mark Shuttleworth, and he's great as ever, once and future king. Because after 7 years, he's coming back to head the company.
Canonical.
Yes, so he's going to be the CEO again, but he still does these things where he browses the show floor and shows people how everything works literally by hand. It's just like, oh, but if I type this command, and look at the jujus, look at the mas. It's just like, Mark, you're worth $140 million. Why are you doing this?
Excellent, good.
And you got some quality time with him.
Yeah.
Good. Right, I'm very glad to have sent you there. And equally glad that I managed to send Sebastian down a mine shaft.
Yes, I think I had the best trip of all of them because I didn't have to go to a conference and hang out with the conference people and write about news. I got to hang out in Norway, next to a fjord in a giant mine that they're turning into a data center. We've covered this several times over the years. The left-out mine in Maløy, Norway, finally opened. This is what it used to be, olivine.
They were mining that sort of stone.
This is the stone they use it for steel production, carbon sequestration, and my jewellery. So, yeah, it was really, really cool, but there's still a lot of questions about how you turn something that is mainly just a mine into a huge data centre, and if people come there, the fact that it took me about a day to get there, he makes an edge case, but the other kind of edge.
Yeah.
But
yes. I mean, it's quoted as being called the largest data centre in Europe, but that's if you include all the empty floor area that's cavernous rock tunnels.
Yeah,
not yet data centre.
There's technically 120,000 square metres of white space. They have a lot of the infrastructure for cooling from the fjord, energy where it's renewable. They have some customers, but it's a very early stage. If you want to know more, I would recommend signing up for a magazine if you're not already now, so they'll come to your office or your home straight away, because we're going to have a nice, beautiful feature, nice, beautiful picture. Maybe if you're really lucky, you might win a piece of olivine. Who knows?
You guys and your spoilers. While you were away, I was just covering all the big data centre announcements, and the top three I would mention from last week were Apple is investing $1 billion in its data centre in Reno. They haven't actually said what they're doing with that $1 billion. They're just saying they're expanding it. And one take on that is possibly it's trying to make something look a bit more substantial, because the main news that was distinctive about this was they got planning permission for a warehouse whose main purpose, whose stated aim is to hold and transfer equipment that's going to Reno, and you might to the actual Reno data center campus. From what you may ask, why they would put it in downtown Reno before taking it to their campus. Why would they do that?
Money.
Yeah.
Okay. Yes, it's an area. It's an underdeveloped area of downtown Reno, and they're meant to be reviving it. And because they put their data center there, they get let off a lot of sales tax. Their sales tax on the equipment they're buying to put into their giant data center. That the sales tax goes down from 2% to 0.5%, i.e. almost zero, because of this bit of urban regeneration.
But the beauty is the sales tax was 2% because they promised all this money investment, and before that would have been 8.25%.
Yeah.
So,
And do you remember this correctly? So like the area has been earmarked for essentially like tourism and then shops and hotels and stuff, and they're building a warehouse there.
Yes. And going against all Apple's previous policies, they're putting the name on it. I mean, Apple brands its shops heavily, but warehouses and data centers, they say they're too intensely, they need security, so they shouldn't be branded, which would make them targets. So, but in order to get, they've changed that in order to get the tax break. There will be a warehouse with a big Apple logo on it.
It's cool, guys. It's cool.
Quite an expensive logo for the company, for the city to buy.
so yeah, if you're a local person, you want to know where to protest about the fact that you're paying tax.
Yeah.
You can see a big logo.
Yep. Okay, Google Cloud, in its continuous efforts to catch up with the number of regions that Amazon has and also Azure. A possibly unwinnable race because they keep on adding more. But anyway, they've added what was probably the most obvious region in the world to add, which is Northern Virginia. Mm-hmm. Well done, Google Cloud.
Unexpected.
Yes. Facebook has started work on a 1 million square foot building in Iowa, which is the Altoona campus, the same place they have their exciting cold storage. I think some of this might be cold storage. So, any final items?
Yes, one thing I wanted to mention is t-shirts at open source conferences. So it used to be, like the cheapest stuff made in China, so like made you all itchy and stuff. Right now, it's like there's a competition among open source companies who can design the best t-shirt. They look great, they're all like responsibly sourced cotton, fair trade, great quality. I brought 10 different t-shirts from OpenStack.
And the design quality also.
And the design quality is fantastic, yes. So basically, if you have a chance to attend an open source conference, do it for the t-shirts. I've seen some analysts, in quite advanced years, browsing the show floor, being like, children in the candy stores.
So you brought 10. How many did we get?
Mm-hmm. Good, excellent. Thank you. You've enhanced our technical credibility there. Good. And any other brief news you want to bring to our attention, Sebastian?
Australian data centre got fired.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, oh dear.
Oh dear. No, well, it's always fun for us. Less fun for the Australians. UniSuper, which is a superannuation provider in Australia, their services got knocked out by a fire, but they won't say which data centre it is. Mm-hmm. We're sniffing it down. We'll try.
Right. They're in some sort of co-location provider, and we assume they were insured, being as they're in that business.
Yeah, we hope so, but we never know.
Yeah.
The other big news is that Graham has come online.
Graham who?
Graham's hardly not our CFO, but Graham, the Canadian supercomputer.
Right.
So the Canadian government mandated a lot of these universities to do a big data center consolidation. Mm-hmm. They're bringing these new supercomputers online. Now we've got a $17 million Canadian dollar supercomputer. Great.
Good. Okay. So yes, I mean, the name supercomputer seems a bit more, if out there and demonstrative than a Canadian would normally be. Giving it a name like Graham makes it sound a bit more Canadian.
Yes. And then finally, in similarly academic terms, the National Physics Laboratory of Britain, which keeps all that time and accurate with a cesium fountain clock, so 1 second in every 158 million years, has partnered with ICE to tell time in their Basildon data centre.
Mm-hmm. Good. Right. Which must mean it's time to end. See you next week for another episode of White Space.